Hello and welcome to Get Involved Training Series Volume 4, Managing Rosters and Granting Profile Permissions. My name is Lori Smith and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. I have the pleasure of being a professional staff member and advisor within the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership as part of the Department of Student Centers and Activities. The Student Involvement and Leadership Office is located in the Student Activity Center, also known as the SAC, which is on George Street on the College Avenue campus. Our team works with colleagues throughout the university to serve all 40,000 plus undergraduate students throughout their involvement and leadership journey. Using a student-centered approach, the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership provides experiential learning opportunities to create transformative experiences for Rutgers University students. Our office recognizes, trains, and supports over 500 plus student organizations, student government, commuter students through learning, advising, and advocacy support. The goal is to connect students to amazing involvement opportunities throughout the university. And one of our main ways we do this is through the Get Involved platform. Today, during our Get Involved Training Series Volume 4, you will learn how to manage rosters and grant permissions for your group's profile page. I hope you're ready to get started. The roster tool is where we're going to spend a lot of time today. It allows you to manage your organization with ease and efficiency. I'll be going over some important aspects about managing your group's profile roster and why that's important to keep your information up to date, make sure that the right people have the correct level of permission so that everyone in your organization can get their job done. Each organization and department profile has its own primary contact, whose name and image will be publicly visible to anyone accessing the group's profile page. Whether it's a vendor that the organization works closely with, or an attendee who attended a public event, or an incoming student without campus credentials, this contact through Get Involved allows them to contact your organization without necessarily knowing the personal information of your members. Keep in mind that the primary contact's personal information, like email address or phone number, will never be accessible to an unauthenticated user of Get Involved. If an unauthenticated user accesses your group's profile, they will have the ability to check on a contact button where they can send a message to the primary contact regarding the organization. As I mentioned, each organization's profile automatically have that primary contact. Primary contacts have a key role, and every organization or department must have a primary contact identified. Primary contacts have two major forms of access that are important to your group. Number one, they have full access to all the organization tools and Get Involved. And two, they receive all inquiries from that organization contact button. Primary contacts typically hold additional positions within their organizations. For many, the ideal student organization primary contact might be the organization president, who seems to need to have the highest degree of access within an organization. But for larger organizations, it might be more appropriate to select a communication coordinator, public relations manager, or secretary, or some similar role that can manage all forms of incoming communication as well. Campus departments might choose a department administrative assistant, their department chair or director, or some other staff member to serve in this role. If you need to change your organization or department profile primary contact, simply click, sorry about that, the blue pencil next to the name of the current primary contact and choose a new name from your roster of members. When you land on your group site, you should also scroll down to see your group's roster. This roster will show you a list of all the organization members and information about your organization's primary contact. When you click View Full Roster, you will see the members of the organization along with their photo, position, and then a list of general members who do not hold positions. Clicking on a user's name will open their community directory information, including their basic contact information or any other information that they have deemed okay for the public to see. So they get to choose their own privacy setting for their information. If you want to change which officers or members of your staff show up on your profile to the public view, you can do that through your groups page on the roster, and you can determine that when you create the position. As a roster manager, you also have the ability to send messages. By clicking the message button at the top of the roster page, you can create a message relay. Relays allow you to create a temporary email address to send a message to only your members or even just certain members based on the position they hold. As an officer or manager of your group, you have the ability to manage this roster tool. As I've mentioned, that ability to create positions specific to your organization's profile is one of those options. And let's go over that now. You would click on the Manage Positions button in the Action Center. And on this page, you would see a full list of the positions that our office has created that are available to your group. But you might want a position that's different than the ones we've created. You can click the plus position button to create a new organization specific position. So something that's titled what your organization calls it. You also have the ability to manage who's on the roster and what different positions they hold. In the Manage Roster section, you can also edit the positions for each different member. Simply click the Edit Position next to the right of the user's name. It looks like a little blue pencil. And a list of all available positions will appear, both those that our office created and any additional ones that you have created. You then assign the user a position by clicking the appropriate checkbox and click Save. Keep in mind that the appropriate level of access to manage your roster or other tools within your position are all controlled by the position that a member holds. If you need to create that new position, you also need to assign it a position type. So let's say you noticed that you didn't have an external secretary and you needed to create that. You could create the Manage Positions, create a new position, title it External Vice President, External Secretary, and then you choose a type. The options that come up range from president, executive board member to member. I recommend, if you want that position to be able to do work in the Get Involved profile, to choose executive board member as the type. You then select whether you want this position to be able to be visible on your roster. So that's where you choose which positions are visible or invisible when people look at your profile. You also then select active, and that makes the position active for use. And then finally, you will choose the permission level for that position. You can choose no access, which means that position has no more access than any other member of the public or any other member. You can choose all access, which gives that position the right to manage every tool within the Get Involved site. And those are the users who will have the most power within your organization. Or you can choose to limit access, giving that position only certain permissions. For example, maybe you only want someone to be able to run an election, or you want your event coordinator to be able to create an event. You can give a specific position in your group just the permission that you want them to have. If you do not see the position immediately, give the system a few moments or refresh, and it'll eventually show up on your roster as an option for you. Once back on the roster page, you can find any user you want to change their position and populate it. You can also manage other member aspects of your membership to your profile. And one of those might be inviting people. To do this, you go to the blue button and choose Invite People. Enter the campus email addresses you would like to send invitations to. You can send up to 500 email addresses in the text box. Make sure that you're using the appropriate campus email for each person you're inviting. For undergraduate students, that email should be their Scarlet email. After you've added the email address, collect plus add email addresses. And once you've entered all of them, you can choose the position you want those users to hold. So for example, you could upload 100 people to be listed as member, or you could add 3 people that all are going to be listed as professional staff member, as an example. Click Send Invitations to the people you've added on the list, and they will get an invitation in their inbox. So you might want to give them some sort of heads up to look out for that. If you want to add more than one type of position, so let's say you have 5 people that you want to add as a member and 5 people that you want to add as something else, you need to do each of those invitation groupings separately. And here you can see on this slide where the little box is where you choose whether you want member or whether you want president or some other position. As an officer, you also have the ability to approve or deny requests from other users to join your organization. Simply go to the roster, scroll down, and you'll see a list for current, pending, and prospective members. Prospective members are those who've discovered your organization and indicated that they would like to join. You can also notify a pending member of their invitation and resend the invitation. But I'm going to spend some time on the prospective member tab. Prospective members, again, are those ones who have asked to join you. You can look at each name and click approve or deny and make a decision about that particular user's membership. You can also send any prospective member a message by selecting the checkbox to the left of their name and choose Select Message. As an officer in your organization who has the ability to manage, you also can remove members from your organization. I recommend you do this at least once each semester. Locate the members you would like to remove and check the box on the far left of the members' names. Click End Membership to end their membership. A confirmation box will appear letting you know that you're ending this user's membership and that will also remove all of their positions and member and permissions. Click End Membership and then confirm the deletion. If you do not wish to end if you do not wish to end the user's membership, you can instead simply change their position within the organization. So for example, if a person was treasurer and now they're vice president, you can change that under manage positions. You can also remove members in bulk. Some groups choose to end all memberships at the end of every year and then re-upload or rejoin their page to make it nice and clean and to create a good history of who was involved in their organization at each academic year. When you choose to do the bulk ending, you choose end all memberships, you will be then prompted by a pop-up notifying you that all memberships will be ended except for the primary contact. And you will be asked to select a date that you want these memberships ended. Choose this with caution. Be sure to communicate with the other officers of your organization that this action is about to be taken, because once it's done, we can't undo that. I'm hoping that you got your answers today about managing your roster and granting profile permissions. I want to thank you for joining us today. And I want to invite you to check out the other videos on this training channel. My name is Lori Smith, and all of us in student involvement and leadership are excited to help you if you need any further assistance. Thank you.